Hey, this is Billy Dixon, and you are listening to the Bigfoot Club Podcast. Cryptid sports entertainment for life.
Hey everybody, Bigfoot Club, Season 8, Episode 3. I'm here with my nephew, Skookum Steven. Skookum, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, didn't we just do this?
I felt like we did it last night. I felt like we did an episode last night, but it's okay.
Today I'm super excited. We're talking with Jon Gonzalez. He's the owner of True Horror Stories of Texas website. And we kind of used his website last year. So,
yeah.
Jon, welcome to the club.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. I know I asked you like a short notice to come on, and I really appreciate it. It's funny because like last season we were, sometimes we kind of get this thing where we don't have anything to talk about, and I found your website. And I sent it to Steven and I go, hey, check out this website. It's so awesome. It's so good.
Yeah.
And you're like, you looked at it. What did you think?
I like the stories that we read off.
Yeah.
It either made me feel weird or it gave me chills. And sometimes it was both.
Awesome.
It was definitely well worded, well written. And then the images, I think there was images. I'm not too sure the images you used. It kind of fit the story too.
Yeah.
So no,
Jon,
we had a blast reading them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I listened to the podcast. I listened to the whole episode.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Really like the stories that you guys were reading on there. So looking it up.
We didn't even plan it. We just kind of just winged it. We just said, hey, let's just open up the website and just start picking stories and let's just talk. And
yeah.
He goes, okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
So how did you get started on that website?
So the website started around, I want to say 2014.
Okay.
And it started off with just like a Facebook page. And it was originally called True Horror Stories of South Texas. Mm-hmm. Or it was True Horror Stories of the Rio Grande Valley, something like that, because I'm from the Rio Grande Valley. Mm-hmm. And then my buddy, he saw what I was doing, and he's a computer guy. He's a teacher and he works with IT and whatnot. He's the computer guy on his campus. So he's like, I see what you're doing. How about I create a website for you? And I was like, well, hell yeah, that sounds great. And so we kind of collaborated, and he's been my partner. Well, he's been my best friend, since I was about 5 years old.
Nice.
So we just kind of we started the website together. Of course, initially I came up with the idea, but he ran with it with me, and we've been working on it ever since. So,
wow,
that's sometimes you're just blessed,
Yeah.
to have someone that shares the same idea,
Yeah. So shout out to my buddy and best friend Renee Biariad.
Renee, yeah, we got to get him on.
Yeah, we definitely got to get him on now.
There's so many different stories. There's stories of just strange supernatural occurrences, and there's paranormal stories. There's some cryptid stuff, and there's like some far cryptid stuff. How did you collect all these stories? I'm just curious.
So we do have a submit your story button on the website.
Okay.
So there's a link. So once you visit the website, I believe after reading each story, that right at the bottom of each story that you read, there is a button that says submit your story. And also on the front page of the website, there is a submit your story link. So a lot of stories have come from the submit your story link on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Some have come from word of mouth. Like people have commented on stories from the Facebook page. So I'll reach out to them and, interview them, kind of ask questions, and then ask them if it would be cool if we shared their story on the website. So it's a combination, of just kind of reaching out to people and people just, reaching out to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done any paranormal investigations yourself, or you got?
Not a lot.
Okay.
No, a little bit. I have visited a couple places and things like that, but No, I haven't. I haven't spent a lot of time, actually going to haunted places or haunted homes and whatnot, and having an EVP recorder and all that good stuff. But I'm always interested in hearing about the stories that come out of those investigations. So, and I am friends with some local paranormal investigators and whatnot, and but yeah, no, I have, it's just a lot of, it's a time thing as well. I really don't have a lot of time to do something like that. So
yeah, you got kids, right?
oh yeah, oh yeah, I got kids, so
I feel you on that, man.
Just I got 4 of them, so my hands are pretty full as you can imagine. Yeah. So
are you in a band too? Are you in a band?
Oh, I'm not in a band, but I used to be in a band. We were called Disgraced by Faith. We still have an album on all the major platforms like Amazon, Apple Music,
really?
Spotify, etc. Yeah. So
You were a drummer, right?
I was the singer.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. We were an old school death metal band, and it was a lot of fun. Jamming out with those guys.
Disgraced by Faith.
Yeah, Disgraced by Faith.
He's looking it up right now.
Oh yeah, man. I dive deep whenever it comes to when people are coming on and they have their other stuff. I'm curious.
We interviewed Sam Sheeran last night. Sheeran last night, and he does cryptid art for a lot of metal bands in LA.
Oh,
like he did.
Nice.
He did Ministry. He did
Rob Zombie.
Filter.
Like, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
He's done I think he's done comic book covers too, right?
Yeah, just comic book covers, and
movie
cryptid.
posters.
So
we talked to him last night, and we were just amazed by the stories. He's like, yeah, I was hanging out with the singer for Filter, and he said that Chino Moreno from Deftones was there the other day, and I'm all like, oh my god.
So,
that's really cool. I saw the Deftones one time, and Chino Moreno jumped into the crowd, and my friend and I caught him.
no!
Yeah, we had him up there in the crowd. He was crowd surfing, so that was a lot of fun too.
I'm just asking the question: why did you not do the band anymore? Just family stuff?
Just I hate to say it, but there's a little bit of a Yoko Ono situation, if you want, if you will. I had broken up with an ex-girlfriend, and she kind of gravitated towards the drummer's girlfriend, so they became friends. And then, how that is.
Right.
They kind of teamed up against me, and then it was like, we just kind of, stopped jamming out so much, and then it just, it kind of snowballed, and the band kind of just faded away.
I see.
I'm still friends with the guys. Of course, don't really talk to them as much, but got nothing but love for the guys,
right?
In the band.
Okay.
I really love the artwork of the album.
Oh, thanks. The logo was actually created by a guy from the UK. His name was Christoph, and he did a bunch of
nice.
Band logos. Actually, he did Emperor's logo and Old Man's Child. Some of his notable creations, or some of the logos that he created. And
Sam knows
back
him.
then, you could just like send him an email, or actually like a message on what was the other one? Not Facebook, but MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah, that's how old school
Yeah.
it is. And he, I just sent him a quick message, and he was like, sure. And he made us a free logo. And so yeah, that was really nice of him. Really cool.
Sam, the guy that we interviewed last night, he's from England.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he's from England, and then he moved to LA, and he started doing all these bands and started.
Yeah, because he kept visiting, and a lot of people were just like, "Why don't you just move here?" And
that's awesome.
he ended up doing, and he hasn't looked back.
Yeah. My mother-in-law is actually from England as well.
Really?
What the heck?
Yeah, and then she moved to
Synchronicity.
Yeah, and she moved to West Texas, where she met my father-in-law, and then they met in the Middle East, because her dad was in the oil business, and so was he, and he had some kids already, and he needed a babysitter. So she was a young woman, and he hired her as a babysitter, and then they kind of hit it off, and they eventually moved to West Texas, and they got married and all that stuff. So it's funny because she's got a British accent, but she's still got a little bit of like a little West Texas twang to it.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so she's got an interesting accent.
I have
Shout
to
out
hear
to
it.
Kay, my mother-in-law. I love you.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wonder if she likes British breakfast or English breakfast.
She likes. Well, they made full English for me, and it didn't work out too well as far as the gas situation, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they do it, but she makes some pretty badass food. She'll make English breakfast and something called toad in a hole. It's like these sausages and baked around some bread, or bangers and mash. So all the good stuff.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk to Sam about that, but anyway, you get all the stories into the website and you go back and you interview people. Because I was just curious about, because I would love to maybe reach out to some of these people on some of these stories and talk to them. Do you get all the information, or is it something that they just keep it private and they don't give you all their?
So, I don't talk to every single one of the people that submit a story, but some of them, I do get some detailed information from them. Mm-hmm. But a lot of stories are, they just submit it to me and I just post it.
Okay. That's interesting.
Was there ever one that this made your skin crawl? Like, I'm pretty sure,
oh yeah,
most of them do, but was there ever one that's kind of stuck with you and you're just like, golly, I can't believe that's
well, we have hundreds of stories on there, and there are, there's several that stand out. For example, there was a woman in Brownsville, Texas, which is at the just southernmost tip of Texas down there, about maybe 45 minutes away from South Padre Island on the border. And her name was Veronica. This was one of our early stories that's still one of the most popular stories on the website. According to the statistics that the website will give us. So Veronica, one evening, she was traveling home with her daughter, and they saw a guy, and then they were like on a back road. They were headed home on a back road there in Brownsville, and her and her daughter saw a man in the middle of the road, right? So, they were waiting for him to just cross the road. And as bizarre as this sounds, according to Veronica, she said that this guy just started sprinting, and he jumped into actually, no, she said he started running, and this man she said that this guy sprouted wings, like bat-like wings, and jumped into a nearby tree. And then from the tree, she said she saw this thing just fly away into the night. So, yeah.
Did she have any graphic details if the person was like Spanish or white or Native American or anything like that? Or
no, she didn't provide any type of details like that. She just said it was like a male figure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Humanoid stuff. That's always been interesting.
Or it could be, Lechuza.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know about the bat wings though.
Yeah. So
that's
so the Lechuza is more like a Latin American based cryptid, if you will, and they're usually associated with warlocks and witches, like Mexican witches and warlocks and things like that.
Yeah,
and they're known to be shapeshifters. But yeah, so Veronica from Brownsville, as bizarre as it sounds, it's of course, being in this business, you're going to get a lot of naysayers, a lot of trolls and whatnot. But we had posted a story about another flying humanoid nearby, about an hour away from Brownsville, in a town called Las Milpas. Texas, which is near Far, Texas, also located here in the Rio Grande Valley. And this witness claimed to have seen what she described to be a Jeepers Creepers like creature. And she said this witness said she saw it fall from the sky. If you go to our Facebook page, it's one of the more recent stories.
Okay.
Yeah. And Veronica from Brownsville, she commented or somebody tagged her like, hey, you remember what you saw? And Veronica commented something like, don't remind me. So we have received a lot of reports from the Rio Grande Valley and up throughout Texas about what people would describe as a flying humanoid type creature.
Wow.
Even, like I said, all the way down here in the Rio Grande Valley, all the way up to Dallas. You guys are up in the Dallas area, is that correct?
Yeah, we're north of Dallas. We're like south of Denton, north of Dallas. So
there was a man named Robert who sent us a report from St. Cecilia Catholic Church in Dallas.
Yeah, it's in Oak Cliff.
Yep.
Okay. He said that he was in a car with his cousins, I believe, and that a gargoyle-like flying humanoid creature flew up on his car, and him and his cousins, they saw it. And I remember him saying that it was right next to St. Cecilia Catholic Church.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would pass that every day to go to high school.
Okay.
Like back in the 80s and stuff. So it's was that recent or is that?
No, we received that story several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's flying humanoids is probably one of our most popular type of reports from our website.
Right. Yeah. Man, I would love to get someone to talk to us about something like that. I think we had one La Chuza story, and it was from one of my best friend's wife, and she had a story, and then but we don't get. I mean, it's as an investigator, it's tough to get people to come out and open to talk to you, and I love your format because so many people who do these stories are let's just be open. They're afraid to get like ridiculed and stuff. I love your channel that you can do this or your venue so people can tell these stories and get it out. But as an investigator, it's tough to get people to, because we get ghosted so many times on stories. Mm-hmm. Like people reach out to us and say, hey, we had a story. And I said, and I'll talk to them. I said, you don't have to go on the podcast, but I'd love to hear your story. And then I try to convince them to come on the podcast, and they say, okay. And then they ghost us.
One thing that bothers me is that Robert got, it still sticks with me, as a military guy.
Oh, yeah.
He comes from overseas. He brings something back.
Right.
He reached out to you and said, hey, I think I'm having a problem and I brought, I'm being haunted by this, I guess, demon, you can say, right?
Yeah, something.
And what did he bring back? Was it a chest?
He brought back like a old chest from Afghanistan.
Wow.
And he was based in Killeen, and he was having this. He was an older guy, so he had his barracks, or he had his own house on the I guess the fort.
Yeah.
And he called me, and he said that he was in there one night with his dog, and his dog was reacting to something in the back room. So they went to go look at this back room, and he said it was this shadow, black shadow. He thought it was someone who broke in. So he drew his weapon, and the dog was barking. And he said this thing turned around, but it didn't have a face. And this thing said, "We are many," and then dissolved, and then disappeared. And he called me, and he was calling me from a payphone somewhere else. I called him back, and I said, "Hey, I can go help you, but it'll take me. I can be there." It was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I said I can be there this weekend. And he said that I couldn't help him anymore, and he didn't return my phone calls or anything. And I think I got someone else to call him, and he answered, and he just didn't want the help, and I just felt really bad. We couldn't help him.
Yeah,
So
I think that was something else.
Yeah.
that took over and said that you didn't need help. That's the part that scares me
yeah,
because that sounded very bad.
yeah, like it was almost like it taken him over.
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
like when you told me that, I was like, oh my God, we need to help this guy because that doesn't sound. No, that if the dog's reacting, that's always a telltale sign.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And if you hear it clear as day saying that, that's not a good sign.
yeah. So, John, let me just tell you, I was a Bigfoot researcher for 25 years. I used to be a part of Texas Bigfoot Research Center, and then I left them. While I was with that group, I would take Steven, my nephew, the host of the show, with me, and he was young. He was like 7-10 years old, and he would go to the field with me. And then when I left that group, I helped form another group called Paranormal Investigations of North Texas. So I was the case director for that group for like 10 years. So I've done a little bit. I've done cryptids and I've done paranormal, and so and we've always run it because recently we moved into this house in Justin, Texas, and right now periodically we'll have stuff happen here in the house.
Yep.
And I can't explain it. And it's like, we'll get like doorbell ringings, or I'll see shadows through the house, and there's because I have paranormal equipment, and one day I just put a digital recorder, and I went to the store. There was nobody in the house, and when I came back and listened to it, you could hear something like someone walking through the house, and I go, man, there's nobody here. So I mean, we get all that stuff, and we've experienced a lot of stuff in the field, and we don't do a lot of investigations anymore, but we still get people to reach out to us and help us. Probably not as much as you do. I mean, but I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Do people like reach out to you and see like for help or anything like that?
Not really. I like you mentioned, I did have one guy who said he mentioned something like, yeah, I need some help. This is getting wild. Some comment like that. And then of course I reach out to him, send him a message, and he never replied.
Yeah.
That's we, as funny as I sound, and like when we say we get ghosted whenever it comes to ghosts, when it comes like that. So
and also like what am I gonna do?
Right.
Am I gonna go scare the ghost? Like I don't know. Like
call the Ghostbusters.
I got a guy, a friend of mine. He's a warlock, and he's actually helped me on a couple occasions where I was in Arizona, and I was going through something out there, and I had like a EMF detector, and I was in like the desert testing out some equipment, and my EMF kept going off, and
How high did it go? It was pretty high.
It went to like 24 milligauss.
Yep.
And I called this guy. I go, hey man, I need your help. And he goes, what's up? And I tell him what was going on. He goes, okay. He pulled out some stuff and like some dishes or some
potions,
some potions or something.
I don't know.
He did some stuff. He said some stuff in Latin, and then my EMF detector, it died. It went away. And he was telling me, because this thing was pretty nasty that was out there. It was after you. And so if Steven and I were the Avengers, he would be Thor.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So if you ever run into anything that you need help on, just let me know. I can get Thor.
Yep.
Out there, or reach out to these people and help them out the best we can. Because
that's good to know.
Yeah. Because
there's some things that, man, that's the one thing I'm pretty sure Robert wants to go investigate more, but I have like a boundary. I'm like, I don't want something to attach to me, and then I bring it home, and then
exactly,
and then because I have kids, so last thing I want is them see something that they're just not equipped to see.
I know, but you see stuff already.
I know, that's the thing. I don't like that. I don't want no. I've seen some stuff, and I'm all like, okay, and then I'll go about the other day, and like now if it's like messing with the boys and stuff like that, that's where we have a problem, and I need to step in.
Yeah, we got to call Thor.
Yeah, but if it's just me seeing it, and it's not, I don't see it all the time, thank God. But when I do, I'm all like, okay, that's weird. I'm gonna continue making my sandwich or something, you know. But yeah, like these stories, the one thing that one of the stories that we read on the podcast, the guy with the ball.
Yes.
There was something wrong with the ball, and he thought it was cool. That's one of the things that I'm like, there's people like that, and I'm just like, I need to stay away from those type of people.
Yeah,
because
he wanted to find it again.
He wanted to find it again because he thought it was cool, you know. And I'm all like, that's no. And that one was weird. The
doppelganger one,
the smiling man.
Oh yeah.
was weird
in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
So no, it was at a hotel.
The hotel.
Oh, was it a hotel? Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that guy who told the story I work with him actually.
Really?
Oh my gosh. So
he works I'm a teacher, so he works at the school, at my school. And he knows about my website, and he's like, man, I have a story. He's like, one time, you know, I was a paramedic back in the 90s, and there's a hotel here in the valley in San Juan, Texas, called the San Juan Hotel. And it's like a historical hotel, but it's all run down now. But I guess it was in operation in the 90s. And he says they received a call of a cardiac arrest of somebody who needed help. So him and his team get there, and there's a man. They look, he straight up looked like a crackhead, like a vagrant, you know. And he was there laughing outside, and so this coworker told me that he was like giddy. He was like excited, like he's gonna die, like hyped up, you know. So he's like, well, you know, okay, you know, whatever, crackhead, you know. And so he goes, and they get the patient, put him on a gurney, take him out, and as they're leaving, the same guy is out there just excited, you know. He's gonna die, like laughing, like just loving it. So like, okay, whatever, you know, that guy's crazy. And so a little while later, you know, so they take the guy to the hospital. They don't know. I mean, I asked him, like, do you know what happened to the guy? He's like, no. He's like, I have no idea what happened to the guy. All I know is that, you know, we put him in hospital care. After that, they get back to their headquarters with the ambulance service, and they're cleaning the ambulance. And through the radio, they just hear like, shh, he's gonna die. They hear the same crackhead or vagrant through the speaker of the radio. And they're like, what the? And so they're like, so my coworkers thought it was his boss, like joking, you know, like, you know, we just heard this guy, you know, like he thought it was his boss making it like doing an imitation of a crackhead. And you know, so he messages back his boss. He's like, hey, you know, what's up or whatever. And he's like, what are you talking about? And yeah, it wasn't, you know, his boss swears that, unless his boss was pulling his leg and whatnot, but he just, you know, he swears that they got the same voice through the radio in the ambulance. And it was the same guy that was outside of the hotel.
Now, I can't recall if that story said that the other paramedic saw the same vagrant. But I was wondering if your friend was the only one that saw this guy.
I believe him and his team, I think they all saw it.
Okay. All right.
So I think I don't know if he had more than one partner, but I know that he was not the only one that saw it.
Yeah.
One of this guy was like the angel of death or something.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I listened to your episode on that one, and you guys had a theory that what if the victim or the guy who had the heart attack was responsible for the death of the vagrant, and the vagrant's spirit was happy about vengeance.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I like that theory. And I was like, you know what? I never thought of it like that. That was a good
Sometimes we're in that mood where we think way beyond. And I don't want to say I brag about it, but it's like we have an open box whenever, especially when I'm reading it, I already have multiple avenues opening up. It could be this, could be that, could be this.
Yeah.
And then I run it by Robert, and Robert's like, it could be that, or it could be this and this. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. I you know, without getting too personal, Steven had, his younger brother was killed in South Texas.
Yep.
And he was autistic, and you were seeing him for like years, right?
Yeah, like so. He was run over by a 18-wheeler, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. So I had sleep apnea, and I didn't know I had it. I just know that I was like falling asleep uncontrollably, like throughout the day. You know, thank God it didn't hit me when I was driving, but it was getting to the point where I think I was on my second or third year of it, and I started seeing him in the doorway of our first apartment. Was it our second apartment? It was a second apartment, and I was like, oh, and I would see him how I visualized how my stepfather found him, and it crushed me because it was one of those things where I wasn't there to protect him and all that stuff, and I would see him at the doorway, and he never stepped in, never, you know, none of that. I would see him, and I would close the door, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like I don't have time for this. So I would go use the restroom and come back, and then I usually have, like, you know, the hallway light on because, you know, for my kids are in the next room, and I would see the image of, like, or the shadow, and I'm like, man, this is not good. So it went from just seeing him to actually hearing him, and I would hear him like gasp for air, like breathe, like he's trying to breathe.
Right.
Wow.
And it got to the point where I had pretty much like kind of like a mental breakdown. I finally told my wife, and I went to therapy, and at the same time I was, you know, getting better with my health, going to the doctor saying I think I have sleep apnea. And then they did a test and like, oh yeah, you stopped breathing like multiple times. Like that's not good.
Wow. And so Steven was going through this, and then like just recently I told him this idea. I said, I go, what if, you know, because Victor, you know, that was his brother's name. He couldn't talk. And so he was always gasping. And whenever Steven was seeing him, and I said, what if he was warning you, telling you how you were sleeping, and you were gasping for air, and it was right during COVID, right?
Yes. It was right before COVID like got hit, and I got my CPAP machine like 6 months
before COVID,
before we got, or at least before I got COVID. So I had that epiphany,
John. I told him, I said, what if he was warning you? What if, you know, you weren't seeing him to scare you? He couldn't talk. So
yeah,
maybe he was gasping, showing you how you were breathing, and he never entered the room. He never did that because you said you didn't want him there, or you felt like you didn't want him there. And so it hit you, right?
Yeah. I was like, that, you know what, that makes sense.
He was trying to communicate in the best way he could.
Right.
About you. Wow.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense too.
And then, as soon as I got my CPAP machine and started using it and started getting more sleep, like that stopped.
He went away,
He
right?
went away. And, you know, I was like, man, I'm pretty sure he knew that it's going to be wrong if I go and I'm right there and he wakes up. That's going to terrify him. Right. So I'm going to stay in the hallway, and he can see me, and that's going to scare him, because it sure as shit, it scared me, because I didn't know, you know, he was when he was right in front of the door, the boys' room was right there, but he never looked in there. So that's where I was like,
the big thing about that to me, John, was that he died in South Texas. And so we're in North Texas. So he traveled all this way to warn Steven. I was telling Steven that. I said he traveled all this way just to warn you, just to tell you. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't tell you in words. Yep. So, and then after that, you felt a whole lot better.
I felt, I mean, I was already, I went to therapy, and, you know, my therapist told me in so many other ways that, you know, it's not your fault. You know, it's right. Not, that's never your fault. You shouldn't, you know, all that stuff. And I was at peace with that.
Right.
But I felt more at peace of coming to like that realization that, that was it. You know, That
Wow.
because he was, if it was, really him, like, and I was going through my therapist and I was like, is it possible that, having sleep apnea, you hallucinate? And she goes, yes, there's also that. But this one was like, so like,
I think the way you were in that state, it made it easy for him to communicate with you. So it was almost like a channel. Like synchronicity. So that's what I thought. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's so if you want to put that on your website, you can't.
No, we have to type it on there.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
You know what, John? I got some stories too. I had some Bigfoot stories I need to put on there for you.
Yeah.
I would love anything you guys got. I would love to share it.
Okay.
Any of it and all of it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's crazy how South Texas is just like, it has a lot of stuff.
You think about it though. That there was the Spanish Texas War.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
You have all that. You have all that bloodshed, and and there's probably like Comanches and Apaches all in that area too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Pancho Villa, trekked this area with his soldiers, and so there's a lot of history, here in the valley and in South Texas. So I can imagine why or how there could be a lot of paranormal activity down here.
right. Am I allowed? And I'll take this out if you don't want it on there. Am I allowed to say the town that you're in?
Sure.
Edinburgh, right?
Yeah, I'm in Edinburgh, Texas.
So what's funny is that my older brother Richard, he does a comic book called El Gato Negro,
Okay.
and most of the El Gato Negro's adventures are in Edinburgh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Why Edinburgh of all places?
I don't. He for some reason he met his wife down in South Texas. And he
Okay.
just had a love affair with it, and he always loves the lucha wrestlers, and so this character is like it's like a luchador that fights crime,
That's awesome.
and
He's like Daredevil.
Yeah,
he
like-
could see, but he's got like batons and
and well, his grandfather was a luchador, and then his grandfather got older, and he passed the mantle on to his grandson, and now his grandson doesn't wrestle, but he's took up the mantle as the name, and he fights like in crime in South Texas and stuff. So
fights the
Well, there's
cartels.
plenty of it down here now. Just kidding.
what's that?
I said, well, there's plenty of that down here. No, the valley, it's pretty chill. Of course, like any area, you've got your crime.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's pretty relaxed down here. But we're right by the border.
Right.
So we do have trafficking, happening, human trafficking, drug trafficking. They got to pass through the valley. They got to pass through us before they send it up to you guys up there,
Right.
Yep.
or anywhere else in the United States.
Well, it's relaxed and chill because of El Gato Negro. That's why
So
he's there stopping it all.
it's kind of exciting because like I just started writing for him too, and so I'm writing some stories for him, and I look up stuff like in like Mexico and Edinburgh, and I try to make it like accurate, like the streets, and so I Google Earth a lot of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So but anyway, but yeah, I think if you get any stories, man, that you need help on, or you need some assistance or whatever, man, we'd love to help you, and whatever.
Okay.
If people want help or some kind of assistance or any kind of questions or anything like that, we'd love to help.
It sounds great. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Okay.
Reach out to you guys if there's anything that I think you guys might be able to help with. So yeah, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
No problem. So, are you going to be? Are you got any like events you're going to go to, or because I know you're busy with your family life and stuff. I just wanted to see if you were going to go to any like Paracons or Comic Cons or anything like that.
No, I really don't have any plans to go to any of that, but I would like to. Just working full time and full time parent as well. It's just it's a little difficult.
Yeah. Does your website have like merch on it and stuff?
We used to. I have a bunch of shirts in my garage. I should send you guys some.
Hey, if you do, I'll send you some too. So
Okay. Yeah, we can do a little swap. I'll grab you guys info through Messenger.
okay.
I'd like to read a small story that's recent.
Okay.
From the website. And
Okay.
you probably already know what it is, but when I read it, you're gonna be like, oh yes. But it's I live in Mission, Texas, near La Homa Road.
Oh yeah.
And I swear there's something dark about that area. The energy there is heavy, too heavy, and the number of accidents and strange things that happen is unreal. My mom and I are usually together, and one night, while driving back from my cousin's house, we experienced something we still can't explain. As we were driving down La Homa Road, my mom suddenly whispered, "Viste eso?" And that exact moment, I saw it too. A woman in a long white nightgown floating above the ground. Not walking, not standing, floating. I shook my head slightly, trying to confirm that my mom had seen the same thing, and she quietly said that she had. Since that night, everything has felt different. We've continued to see a woman walking alone on that same road, always in the exact same spot, and every single time we pass by, she slowly turns her head to look at us, like she recognizes us, like she's waiting. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but deep down, I know it's not. That story may be short, but it's true. It's from Jasmine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So, La Llorona?
Well, it sounds residual too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, but if it recognizes them, is it just because it's recognizing that
vehicle.
moment? Well, no, recognizing that moment that she finally, someone can see me. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Because she's waiting for something. I don't know.
What if she's doing it even if there's not a car there? She's just turning toward that area and
then act like she's
I'd like to maybe research that road or something.
Yeah.
So that road, La Homa Road in Mission, Texas, it's one of the most reported roads on our website. We've deemed it one of the most haunted roads in Texas.
Wow.
We've received so many reports from that area, from flying humanoid creatures to ghost ladies in white to time slips. And brujas. We received reports of lechuzas and of actually there's this one of my favorite stories. And actually we made an audio story of it. So if you hop on over to our YouTube channel, True Horror Stories of Texas, we put together a bunch of audio stories as well. So what I did is I scripted out some of the stories from the website because I teach theater arts and TV production. So I'm a director too. So I direct plays and whatnot. So what I did is I took some stories from the website and I scripted them out into plays or audio plays. And, we got some actors to do the voiceovers for it. So there's one story called Brujas of La Homa Road. And it's basically about true story based on a man named Juan and his friend, her name was Rosalba, right? So they used to work at a fast food restaurant in McAllen, Texas in the, I want to say early 90s. And one night, their shift ended. So Rosalba was like, she's like, "Can you give me a ride home?" They're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I live over there in Mission." So like, "Yeah, sure." Off of La Homa Road. So they gave her a ride home. It was Rosalba, Henry, and Juan. So they give Rosalba a ride home, and she's like, "You guys want to chill out and talk for a bit? Like, I'm not tired." And they're like, "Yeah." So they just, they posted up on her porch, and they were just hanging out, talking. And of course, the subject of the paranormal popped up. And Rosalba's like, "You know what? As a matter of fact, you see those creepy trees across the street over there? Well, there's a couple of witches that like to hang out there." And they're like, "Shut up. You're an idiot. You're stupid." They're like, she's like, "You don't believe me? Go check it out." So Juan goes across the street to check out these witches, right? And he sees birds in the trees, and he's like, they're just birds. So what he did is he threw a rock. He threw some rocks at the tree, and he hit one of these birds. And he said that one of the birds started to talk. like a hurt old lady. And he's like, what the? And he takes off running back to her house. And he said that these birds or witches or whatever, they took off after him. And he's like, oh shit, and they're on his tail. They're like flying at him. So they go inside the house, and they can hear these cackling ladies outside of her house. And all night they were just like taunting him, like telling him to come out. And finally, the morning hit, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get the hell out of here. It's daytime now. So he gets in his car, and him and Henry take off. And as they're driving down the Lahoma Road, they see two women on the side of the road, and one of the women was holding her head, like
he got hit by a rock.
He got hit by the rock.
Oh, Lord.
So that one was one of my favorite stories from the website. And
Lahoma.
Yeah, Lahoma, Lahoma, Lahoma Road.
Have you been there?
I've passed by there. I forgot what I was doing out there. But yeah, I've passed by there casually. But yeah, it's rumored to be one of the most haunted roads. There's a lot of different stuff happening there. There's another story that came out of there where this was a time slip. These kids were driving down Lahoma Road. It was nighttime, and they said that they went through like a cloud, right? So they're driving, and then all of a sudden they come upon like a cloud. So they drive through the cloud, and about 2 seconds pass by, and it's pitch dark, it's cloudy, they can't see anything. And then just like that, they're in like a different dimension. They're driving down a bright road. It's daytime, and there's desert on either side. And then they keep driving, and then within like a split second, they're back on Lahoma Road, and it's dark again, and it's just the regular road again. So they hit like a time slip,
or a portal.
Yeah,
or a portal. And there's so there's a bunch of flying humanoids. You got those lechuza bruja ladies there. That flying woman or that floating woman in white. Another story about a woman. I believe it was a guy who sent in the story, and he said it was like a hairy flying creature that he saw on Lahoma Road as well.
Wow.
So yeah, that's really, it's one of the most reported roads in all of Texas. And whenever we do post about that road, we do have a lot of witnesses in the comments, saying like, yeah, I saw something there too. I saw something there too. And then of course you get your trolls just making fun of it.
Right.
Like, the only thing you're going to see there are crackheads and taco stands.
Yeah.
When which is funny too, or DPS troopers, in the area. But yeah, no, I gotta admit, it is one of the creepiest, most reported paranormal locations in all of Texas and on our website.
Man, I kind of wonder, what's in that area? Like if it's like limestone or quartz, or there's like an underground river under there or something. Because
could be.
I mean, because like we get a lot of stuff. Like anytime we get Bigfoot stuff, it's always near like electrical or gas right away. Mm-hmm. And electrical gas right of ways, they have a lot of EMF, and for some reason, I know it's just conjecture when I say this, but our theory is that Bigfoots are attracted to that. Mm-hmm. Like they're attracted to cemeteries. I don't know why, but they are. Okay. They're attracted to gas and electrical right of ways, and so. I mean, I've always been curious about land, and people say, well, I have a haunted house. I said, well, it's not necessarily the house. It could be the land.
Right.
So,
sense.
I want to look that. I want to look up that road and see what county it is, and maybe get in the tax assessor, maybe see deeds or grants that are in that area.
Talk to the county police, see if they verify like, oh yeah, we get calls all the time from that, and that's like another telltale sign like, okay, they're getting calls You know,
Oh, yeah.
or
Of course.
if they
And,
drive on there too.
Right. And having law enforcement see something like that, I think gives it that much more credibility.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, they have a serious job. And actually, we do have a bunch of stories sent in by law enforcement officers as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually have a podcast too. I only have about 5 episodes so far. And one of the episodes is law enforcement encounters with the paranormal. So there's a few stories about the.
Wait. You do a podcast with?
Yeah, I have a True Horror Stories of Texas podcast. It's available on all the platforms as well.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I only got about 5 episodes so far. But yeah, one of the episodes, I believe it might be number 2 or 3. It's about law enforcement's encounters with the supernatural and paranormal.
I was about to say you have a podcast voice.
You do.
Thank you.
You do, John.
And I was like, okay, you're a teacher. Okay, so I get that, but you do have a podcast voice.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
not a bad thing to have. So
man, I just wanted to ask. I wanted to ask your permission. Also, is it okay if, like, going forward, if we use the website for stories?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You guys are more than welcome to use the website for anything you need. You know, it's as long as you give us a shout out.
Yeah.
You know, that
We will plug you. We will plug the heck out of you.
I appreciate you guys, because I will, and you know, and it's a little bit annoying, but I have gotten a few people here and there that they, you know, they'll use our website and give us no credit whatsoever. And so that, it kind of annoys me a little bit, but
if I see it, I'm gonna call it out.
yeah,
do it. Call them out.
But John,
I was going to ask.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you guys. So, like, you guys did primary. You know, you're called the Bigfoot Club. You guys did a lot of, or primary, you know, cryptid hunting or research and whatnot. Did you guys ever see the humanoid Bigfoot werewolf-like creature from our website?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen that.
Have you guys heard of the Dogman Triangle?
Yes.
With Aaron Deese or DC? I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name.
Deese.
I don't think the only Dogman guy we know is Vic Cundiff and Linda Godfrey. You know, rest in peace. But
right.
She's those are only 2 people that I know of. But you have a story on there?
So Aaron Deese, shout out to Aaron. He wrote a book called The Dogman Triangle, and he's involved with the Small Town Monsters crew.
Oh yeah, Petikoff, yeah.
Yeah, so they do, you know, documentaries and books and stuff like that. He reached out to me, you know, about his research. I did give him a bunch of information, help him out with the research. But what I'm talking about right now primarily is in San Benito, Texas, which is in Deep South Texas, near Harlingen, Texas. And I believe it's Cameron County. So we got a hold of a video, and there's some guys fishing in a little lake, and they're videotaping. You know, and this is back in like 2011. Okay. So of course the video quality,
it's not very good.
Yeah, it's not very good. And you know the rules of the paranormal. If you're going to catch something paranormal on tape, it's got to be the worst quality.
Yep.
Right. There's got to be some obstructions or something like that, right?
Yep.
So these guys are on a little fishing boat, and they're recording, they're fishing, and they spot what looks like a dog drinking water on the river's edge. And in the video, the guys are like, "What is that? Is that like a dog or something?" And then this thing stands up on its hind legs, and they're like, "Holy shit!" You know. And then it goes back down onto all fours, and like it darts into the brush. And I'll send you the video.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It got real. That video got real popular. You know what I mean? It made its rounds around all the paranormal community in the world, actually, because I saw it getting shared, you know, in the UK and all around. Nuke's Top 5. Slapped Ham, all those YouTube channels. Got a hold of it.
I wonder if Vic's seen this.
Yeah, Vic Cundiff.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. And so that's why I thought maybe you guys had seen it. But yeah, that's one of the most And even though it is a little blurry, I think it's some pretty compelling evidence.
Okay.
Too. It looks like it could be like I don't know, like a werewolf or like a dogman type creature.
Yeah. I don't get a lot of Dogman stories.
No.
We don't.
We had Vic Kundev on it, but Dogman.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, like,
I mean, I talked to one guy in Mineola that had a story about a Dogman, and I wasn't able to record the interview, but that's the only one I've gotten. And I know Josh Turner does Paranormal Roundtable.
Yes.
He's got a ton of stories like in the Austin area, but it's like I said, to be an investigator and to get people to open up to you, it's really, really hard. It's really hard to get them to.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I like I was saying before, I really like your format because it gives people the privacy to tell the story, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm glad you're available for other people, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I give them the option to stay anonymous if they want. You know what I mean? Of course, I'd rather, have them provide a name, at least a first name, But if they want to stay anonymous, that's perfectly fine. I understand the stigma that comes along with it. The tinfoil hat society, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not accepted by everybody. So, it's awesome to have, like-minded people like yourself that are, that love this stuff, that are involved with the paranormal, that believe in it and support it. You know what I mean? So you guys are awesome for
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think you're awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys. I know I appreciate you guys, reaching out to me too. Can I tell you guys a story?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a personal story.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened before I started the website. And it was one of the things that kind of inspired me to start the website. So back in I want to say it was 2011, probably 2011. I was living in McAllen, Texas on Main Street. And I was staying in an apartment building. It was a fourplex. And I stayed on the bottom of the apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a little parking lot attached to it. So my buddy and I, Ryan, shout out to Ryan. I used to have I still have the truck, but it's in the shop. So we were hanging out on the tailgate of the truck. We were just sitting down. It was a nice evening. It was a late November evening in 2011. Mm-hmm. And we were chilling out on the tailgate of the truck. We weren't smoking. We weren't even drinking nothing, not, at least not that time. Right. So yeah, we were just, cold sober, we were totally sober. And so we're just hanging out, just chit-chatting, chilling out. And we look up, and we see a flock of birds, right? Mm-hmm. And they're approaching from the western sky, right? And so we're just, okay, it's a flock of birds. And they were like in a V formation. And then they start to head south, right? And so I think we made a comment like, oh, maybe it's going to get cold and they're heading south for the winter or something, And then they bust like a U-turn and start heading over my apartment, heading north. And so we're just casually looking at these birds. And I swear to God, and I'm so glad that Ryan, my buddy Ryan, was there to watch it, to witness it as well. But dude, these birds, they started emitting like lights, like sparks, whatever you want to call it. Like imagine striking a lighter, mm-hmm. but there's no more fluid. There's no more fluid in the lighter.
And it's sparking, yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, it was about, I would say maybe 10 to 12 birds in the flock. And the first, I would say half of the birds, maybe about the first 4 to 5 birds that led the V-shaped flock, they were emitting like these sparks from like their eyes and their beaks. And I didn't say anything. I was just looking at it and they flew over, right? And I was like, and I just stayed quiet. And then my friend Ryan, he goes, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah, what did you see?" He's like, "Those birds," he said it. He's like, "Those birds were emitting like these lights from their beaks and their eyes." I was like, "Yeah, exactly." So we go inside, we do a quick research, are there any birds that maybe, display some type of bioluminescence? You know what I mean? You know how that's in nature as well, right? like lightning bugs and whatnot. And we're in deep South Texas, and it's one of the largest birding destinations in the world. We get all kinds of exotic birds down here. And so I was like, well, maybe it's just like, an exotic bird that, that visits, deep South Texas here in the valley. But we couldn't find any research on any type of birds that emit, bioluminescent light from their eyes and their beaks. So yeah, that has got to be one of the strangest things I ever experienced in my life.
That is strange.
And so after that, I was just, it's just kind of, and I've always been a fan and a lover of the paranormal. So, at some point, it's like, you know what, I want to create a website, a page, to harvest and archive all these, a collection of all these stories from Texas. So, yeah,
right.
that's got to be one of the craziest things I ever experienced.
Are you able? Let me ask this question, because I don't know if you've ever been to the BFRO website. Have you ever been to the BFRO website?
What is that?
It's the Bigfoot Research Organization. It's the biggest. It's the group that does finding Bigfoot.
No.
Okay, so they have a Bigfoot. They're like the biggest Bigfoot group in all America, and they have this website called bfro.net, and we're not endorsing them at all. So I always got to say that because like before we were doing your website or using stories, we would use their stories, and we'd always say that because we're not endorsing them. But anyway, they have the biggest website. And so you can go to like North America, click on North America, and then click on the US, and then click on each state. And the reason I was saying it, and I know you've already done all this stuff on your website already, but it would be interesting because the way they have it broke down per county in each state. Okay. And they have like, say there's 7 sighting reports in Johnson County, and they have it set up that way. I was wondering, because I would be interested in how many sightings or events would happen in each county in your website.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that one street you were talking about. You were getting on. I was wondering. Go look at that website and tell me what you think. And I don't know if that's a big change you got to do for your website, but it would be interesting to see how many counties have more paranormal stories than other counties.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
We have received a bunch of Bigfoot-like reports on our website as well. There was a dude named Sid, and also in Mission, Texas. It was because we're right by the border, right by the Rio Grande River, and Sid actually sent in a picture of what he believed to be a Bigfoot. He said he was there, like in the brush, like in the little forest area. And he said Sid claims to have seen like a large humanoid creature in the brush, and then he said it took a knee like a football player. I'll always remember that, and I'll send it to you through the messenger so you can check it out.
All right, that's awesome because like I've only heard one story, and it's like we have a friend that does Bigfoot Crossroads, Matt Knapp, and he's got one story in Mexico.
Yep.
Wow.
That has a Bigfoot story. And I've tried to talk to this lady, and she talked to Matt, and I think that was the one time she wanted to talk about it. And I heard the story, and I reached out to her. I said, "Hey, we'd like to talk to you." And it was clearly like in California, San Diego, south of that, like in TJ, past TJ and stuff like that. And so she saw a Bigfoot in some forest out there, and I go, I've never heard of a story of Bigfoot in Mexico.
Yeah.
And so I was interested in it completely, but
He's vacation.
Yeah, he's vacationing. But anyway. So but yeah, John, thank you for all the stories, man. This is awesome. I love it. I think we usually do an hour, and I think it's been like an hour for us.
Okay.
How do our listeners find your website?
Okay, so you can reach us at truehorrorstoriesoftexas.com. You can also hit us up on YouTube. Just type in True Horror Stories of Texas, and you'll find our YouTube page. We also have our Facebook page. Search True Horror Stories of Texas, and you can, like our Facebook page. I also have a TikTok, which I have not been very active on, but I do have a bunch of stories on my TikTok as well. Just type in True Horror Stories of Texas, and you'll find, you'll stumble upon the TikTok page.
Okay.
And yeah, so if you guys find me, I'm Jon Gonzalez. Send me a friend request. I'd love to talk to you guys about whatever, and I'd love to share more stories with you guys in the future. I've got plenty of stories. I could talk to you guys forever.
Okay.
So whenever
we will have you back on. How about that?
Definitely.
Sure, anytime. Oh, and the podcast. You can search on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, all the major podcast streams.
So what I'll do also once I'm done with this show, I'll post it, and then I'll put on the show notes all your websites, your Facebook, your website, your Instagram, everything, your YouTube. I'll put all that stuff on there for you.
I appreciate that, man. Awesome.
So before we go, Jon, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. And I for some reason I feel like we're gonna talk more. I think.
Yes.
So I really, really appreciate you. And
if we ever visit South Texas, which we sometimes we're in South Texas.
Yeah.
I do still have my sister who lives in Eagle Pass. So yeah, like whenever we're down there,
you guys have just made a new friend for life. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So whatever you need, you guys are in South Texas. We'll barbecue.
Oh.
We can go swimming, whatever. I got a pool back here, so whatever you guys want to do.
Right on, man. Okay.
Alrighty, man.
Jon, I'm gonna try to, since we already put out a show yesterday, so I'm gonna put this one out on Friday, and
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you before I put it out.
Okay.
So you can listen.
Good, man.
So you can listen to it anyway, and we'll, like I said, we'll plug the website big time.
Yep. And Disgrace by Faith
Awesome,
too, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Okay, man. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right,
bye.
man. Good night.
Bye-bye.
If you are listening to us for the first time, thank you. If you are a regular listener, double thank you. Please subscribe, comment, like, follow, and give us a 5-star review. It really helps us provide quality content for you. If you have any stories you would like to share or concerns, please email us at bigfootclub1@gmail.com.